is it really worth vibe coding a new CRM, for example, when you've got these $1 million businesses who have been making this for years on end? Like, is it worth the extra risk? Probably not.
All right, where are we? AI for Humans, episode 3. With me is Flynn. How you going, Flynn?
Hey guys, I'm going great.
It's been, 3 weeks since we did our first episode?
Yep.
So much great feedback since then. It's blown my mind.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. We recorded them all in one sitting, but that's hilarious. But anyway, all good. This week, we're going to talk about vibe coding, business process versus tech solutions, right? So the big idea is the tools mean everyone could code. And so the big question I've got is just because you can code, should you code? What do you think about that?
Great question, Pat. And myself, I use vibe coding all the time when I work, right? I'm using Claude Code to build apps, to build mockups, all that sort of stuff. And it's the same when I work with clients, often internally, whether it's the marketing team, financial team, they've all built these little mockups or vibe coded apps. But the difference is, once you finish that mockup, sure, that's great to show someone, but taking that to prod or to cloud, that's where the risk comes in. And any app that I've seen vibe coded, it fails, security fails when you really try to take it to production or move that extra step up.
Yeah, I guess it's that point, like just because you can, should you?
Yeah.
I really love the idea that everyone can do it now. But it's the idea is like, should you, and what should you do? I think building a proof of concept is really cool, but thinking that you can take an enterprise app to production, maybe not so cool.
Yeah, and it's also thinking, is it really worth vibe coding a new CRM, for example, when you've got these $1 million businesses who have been making this for years on end? Like, is it worth the extra risk? Probably not.
And that's the kind of big idea that we've been thinking about these last couple of weeks is there's certain functions that make a ton of sense to build a bespoke app, and things like connectors or visualizing big data. But anything that is like serious enterprise risk, it's like, all right, I built the app and it kind of works now, but what happens when it breaks?
Yeah.
I'm a vibe coder. Like, what are you going to call me for support? And I'm being funny, but like if I sell a new banking system to Westpac, I vibe coded and it breaks and they're like, hey, we just lost $1 billion. I'm like, I don't really support that, right? I mean, that's the concept. So I guess this idea is that you got to pick your use case.
Yeah.
One of the big concepts we talk about often is this idea of business process versus tech. It's like understand what the business needs are. And we did one recently, so it was document retrieval. Tell us a bit about that one.
So pretty much we had a client, we inherited their code base, which was for document retrieval. It looked a bit vibe coded. I'm not going to go out and accuse anyone of vibe coding, but it did look a bit vibe coded. And pretty much we mocked up an MVP using Claude, and then we realized that this existing version was going through every single file across their entire SharePoint, which you can kind of count up quickly 1,000 tokens or more per document across thousands of documents. That's quite expensive. So we quickly realized this wasn't a vibe coding, well, it was a bit of a vibe coding issue, but more so token usage as well, which comes from when you're just vibe coding apps and not really worrying about this sort of stuff.
Yeah, a combo of a couple of different big errors there, right? So one, no security, so they weren't authenticating their users. Massive, like a very common vibe coding mistake, right? Didn't think about security. Second is just understanding the business process. So we looked at it and went, you know what, before you drop a line of code, let's look at business process. Yeah. This is a web-based form that did document retrieval. So 3 drop downs, right? Which document are you looking for? Where are you from? Tell us a bit about you and give us your thing, give us your identity. That narrowed our search window into very small folder groups, very small amounts of documents, heaps less compute required, slicker app, and it's a business process thing. It's not like the code can do it, but should it? So you talked about massive token use. We're going to do, next episode is going to be covering token economics, which could be the biggest crap storm coming in the world of AI. But like, I think, we're really focused on this vibe coding thing this week, but old news for me is, I met a bunch of people who were like, AI is going to eat the world. There's never going to be any software anymore. I can create a CRM on an ERP and AI tomorrow. And my thought now, and this could be funny 3 months from now when I'm wrong, but that would be insane. Like, don't, just because you can, you shouldn't. Like, don't buy your new Oracle that's vibe coded at Claude. Get your ERP from someone who can support it.
Yeah, and that's because there's a big difference between a quick mock-up using Claude versus something that's going to work for thousands of users and be maintained for the foreseeable future.
All right, well, that's the episode this week. As we always say, This is the fastest moving tech the world's ever seen. Anyone who tells you they can keep up at this pace of change is crazy. So we're just trying to stay ahead of the curve. We're telling you what we see from the front line. It's human ideas, created by humans. Yes, we use AI all the time. The tools are awesome. If you disagree with anything you heard on the episode, have an argument with us in the comments. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Flynn.
Cheers.